Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I will be doing an episode review for season 1, episode 4 of The Walking Dead Wildfire. Okay, so, so as review goes, I'll do a quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and rate. So, it's the second to last episode of season 1 for season for Walking Dead Wildfire, fifth episode and overall. Basically, after the Walker attack in the previous episode, they're mourning for the deaths of Amy, Ed, Carol, maybe, not likely though, and the impending death of Jim, and then any background survivors they might have liked. They're mourning for all their deaths. Yeah. So eventually they decide to go to the CDC. After burying their dead, and making sure they don't reanimate. Um, Yeah, wait, give me a sec. Sorry, no, I just saw like a flash of red light through my window. Nothing was just one of those when a car starting up. I'm sorry about that. So after burying the dead, Amy, Ed, and all the background survivors, Jim, Rick, Shin, T Dog, Lori, and the rest of the crew, and whatever, Glenn, Carl, everybody else is left there. They go. They decide to go to the CDC. Jim dies on the way, and they eventually get to the CDC, and it ends with them getting to the CDC. And as they're about to leave, a scientist by the name of Dr. Edwin Jenner opens the door, and you just have this majestic like ending with like everybody, like all like 10 people, um, looking at the entrance while the like white light is just gleaming, like one of those heavenly looks, if you know what I mean. Um, if this will probably most likely be the thumbnail for this episode. So you'll understand after if you see the thumbnail. I think that's how you say it. Thumbnail, thumbnail. How is it that you say it? Pretty sure it's thumbnail, thumbnail, thumbnail. I have no idea how to say it, honestly. Whatever. Back on track. Honestly, in my opinion, this episode seemed rushed. I mean, it didn't come out good. I think out of all these episodes, this one has to be like the most filler episode of season 1. Um, yeah. I mean, it just seemed rushed in my opinion. It didn't look good, and yeah. I mean, for some reason, everybody says Vatos is the worst episode of season 1. It looks contemporary. It looks bad. That one looks rushed. No, that one looks good. A bit rushed. Mm, I guess depending on how you want to look at it. I mean, that one has is actually better than this one. This one seems rushed. Everything. I mean, I get they had to cram everything into this episode. The death of Amy. Amy and her reanimation. Then Amy, mourning over her, burying the dead. Carol, you know, axe when putting a pickaxe through Ed, and all the gym drama, and then abandoning him and getting to the CDC. Those are the 6 main parts. And honestly, all that seemed rushed up until maybe after little bit before James' abandonment by a tree. Everything there seemed rushed. I mean, it didn't look good. I mean, honestly, I understand they had to put this all in one episode, but it just seemed rushed. It didn't look right. The writing was not spot on. It was okay. It was good. But it just looked bad. It looked sloppy. It looked rushed, in my opinion. I mean, and honestly, out of all this, for season 1, this one had to be maybe the most emotional episode, and and I will give them credit for because it was a bit emotional, but not as emotional as it should have been. I mean, we should have been. I mean, yeah, I get it. We just met most of these people, but we should be mourning a bit, or being at least a little bit upset that Amy died, a little bit upset that Jim died. Ed, if you want to be a little bit upset, I mean, he wasn't really made to be upset for during his time of death, but maybe feel a little bit bad for the guy. I mean, because he has a daughter, he has a wife, even though he abused them, you know. But no, I mean, yeah, Ed, I didn't really feel bad for him because I don't think it was meant to be felt bad for during the time of his death. Amy, I didn't feel bad. Jim, I felt a little bad, but not as bad as I should have. So it just seemed rushed. The emotion didn't seem as good as it should have. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think the best part would be like maybe the last 10, 15 minutes where you're introduced to Jenner and they get to the CDC and you feel Rick's pain before he's let into the CDC. But honestly, this whole episode just seems rushed. I mean, that's why I dislike it. Just seemed rushed. It didn't look right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm a bit disappointed on this episode. I mean, granted, it is still the first season, but still, I'm disappointed. I mean, it just seemed. I mean, oh, it just didn't look right. It looked rushed and everything. Honestly, that's all I have to say. It didn't look right. I mean, yeah. That's it. I think the best part of this episode would have been, especially the last 5 minutes, because it's mostly because it's the ending. I was after like maybe 20 minutes, I was hoping for the once the ending gonna come. I didn't like, the ending was maybe the best part. I mean, you see different. I mean, mostly because you see a different part of Atlanta you haven't seen yet, because you saw around like maybe downtown Atlanta, the edge of downtown Atlanta at best. This one you see another, I guess the another part of the edge of downtown Atlanta. Um, in the CDC, you see like how the military was trying to protect everyone. I mean, yeah, I mean you do have like a couple zombies here and there. At this episode, maybe 3 or 4, I believe, and that was all towards the end of the episode. I mean, well, with the exclusion of Amy, who reanimated and was put down, but besides that, I mean, those were honestly the best 5 minutes. I mean, the ending seemed majestic. It seemed it did bring back a little bit of the episode, but not as much as it should have. It have a good ending though. So yeah, a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'd have to put this at a 4.5. I mean, just the whole episode seemed rushed. There wasn't as much emotion as should have been yet. You still have that that the last 10, 15 minutes of the episode, which actually seemed like they took their time to actually make it good, and especially the last 5 minutes of the episode right there at the CDC. Yeah. So yeah, this is Daniel Marr. Comment below, subscribe to our friends, families, neighbors. Yeah, share on Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, Twitter, Vine, whatever you guys have. And good night. Oh, and happy Thanksgiving, or happy Thanksgiving Eve. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So yeah, whatever. Bye.